You're live.
Here we go.
Are you running it?
Yeah.
Oh, Sam.
Yeah.
Is that a captain circle?
Are we live, Sam? Are we live? We're live.
We are live.
Hey, wait, can I
Kieran, are we all in here if we get game in? I can represent the Slackers.
Yeah, they're all in. Yeah, everyone's in the shot. All right, we good? All right, everyone. Welcome to the 2023 BCB press conference. We have our captains assembled. Should be live. Oh, yeah. We have our captains assembled. We're running through a series of questions to ask about their preparedness, their confidence, and any other general classic questions that you all have before we start our historic tournament tomorrow. So let's start with our first drafting captains, Will Wyman. I know, but we don't have a representative from the Mercenaries. Actually, let's call over Jake Taylor. No, I'll bring the mic to you.
Oh, yeah, Caden.
All right, Caden. Yeah, this is a bit of a stretch. But yeah, give me a little extra. Give me a little extra right there. All right, Caden. The Mercenaries are one of the most storied franchises in Classic history. They've been around since the very beginning, passed hands between a few captainships. What do you think you can bring in particular to this franchise that made it to the semifinals last year?
Thank you. I appreciate it, Kieran. I think I can bring a lot that no one's really expecting from me. Coming out of the last round of the draft, I don't think there's a lot of expectations put on my name, which is actually where I prefer to be, is not in the spotlight, because I really think I can shine from a bench role. So whenever I get my feet on the court, I'm going to go 110%, go full bore at all times, and just try to put a good couple games together, and then we'll save ourselves for the playoffs, I think.
All right, save yourself for the playoffs. I like it. One more question for you. You're running a lineup that includes two classic former a classic drafter as well as a former classic drafter in Jake Taylor. How excited does it make you feel to be working with these two captains?
I think I'm pretty blessed to have some of the most experience on my team, having Bradley and Jake. I don't think anyone else really has like two former captains on their team. I don't believe so. But having Jake obviously is good home court advantage. Can get out here and practice when all the boys can't. So yeah, I think we're gonna be ready. This year.
Absolutely. All right, I have one question for Jake Taylor. If you want to come over and join us on the stream. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Let's give it up for Jake Taylor. Thank you, stream.
Thank you.
For you, I just wanna hear a little bit. I'm sure everyone on the stream wants to hear a little bit about what the decision-making process looked like, both for the league and for yourself, stepping down from that captainship and signing on with the Mercenaries. What are your thoughts on that?
At this point, I just want to win. You know, I'm here to win and try to win some games. That's the whole goal of this. So, yeah, I've lost the franchise, but you know, hopefully it's a step in the right direction towards getting a Summer Classic championship.
Yep.
So that's all we're focused on at this point. So, yep, we're locked in.
I love to hear it, whatever it takes. Thank you, Jake Taylor.
Thank you.
All right. Let's step over to one of my favorite guys in the Classic, good friend of mine, good buddy, Will Wyman. Ooh, what do we got for Will Wyman? Will, clearly, as everyone knows, you're losing a two-time Defensive Player of the Year in myself. What does that mean for your team, and where do you see you guys bringing that extra defensive intensity? Where do you see yourselves finding that?
I think the identity of the downpour for the past 3 years has been a defensive one, and that's in most part to you, really locking down the opposing player, making it problematic for them, grinding out some games. I recall one game that comes to memory is playing against the Foul at the beginning of the last Summer Classic. That was one of the grossest games ever. And Bridger's, one of the best offensive players out here, but it was a gritty, grindy game. And that's just not the identity of the team this year. We're much more offensive-oriented. Mikey Finity is, in my opinion, one of the best ball handlers, one of the best offensive initiators the Classic has to offer. And I'm super excited to play with him. And we've got Jack Grote and Karagosian. Those two guys, just phenomenal rebounders, great athletes, just good hustle, good heart. And I think we're going to be a bit more on the offensive end this year.
All right. Another question for you. I think a lot of people might forget the offensive output that you've had in the past, especially last Classic. You were a bit limited, playing without full access to your dominant hand. Do you think people are underrating you? Do you think people are forgetting about the offensive game that you bring to the Classic?
I think so. I think that there are people in the Classic that genuinely think I'm not good at basketball. So I'm not really worried about what other people think. I know my own work. I know my own game. I trust myself. My teammates trust me to make the shots I know I can make, to make the plays I know I can make. So underrated, overrated, what other people think about me and my basketball skill has never really been a present of mind for me out there.
That's a great answer.
Fantastic answer. Thank you, Will Wyman of the Downpour. All right. Who do we got next? No, I gotta. Let's bring over the commissioner himself. Take a seat. Come over and take a seat somewhere, Sam. Yep. Oh wow.
Genius stroke right there.
Very smart for the commissioner. That's why he is the commissioner. All right. Welcome to the stream, Sam. So, you've obviously been around the Classic longer than anybody. What would it mean? What would it mean to bring home a championship in this tournament that you have created from the bottom up, put so much time and effort into? What would it mean?
That would be a culmination of a lot of hard work put in on the court. But any successful conclusion to when every Summer Classic comes to an end, I've really won, because I put in so much work off the court, and just the successful and the success and the happiness of everybody else that came out here. That's where the real winning happens.
Wow. Fantastic answer. I can't help but agree. Couldn't agree more. So obviously you're bringing some really skilled players in, Tyler Mundy, but I'm very curious about Spencer Alt. A lot of us haven't seen much of him. I know myself, I haven't. He's the oldest player in the Classic, your brother. Tell me a little bit about that sibling relationship, and what do you expect that to bring both on and off the court?
I think we will complement each other's games pretty well in terms of we both like to move without the ball, move with the ball. And obviously we have excellent communication, and we'll be able to communicate well on the court. So I think that will be a great boon to our team. But honestly, we haven't played basketball together. Like, we've been opponents going one-on-one, but we haven't been a team. So I am interested to see how that goes on the court, but I'm sure we'll figure it out pretty fast.
Yeah, very exciting. Very exciting. One last question for you. Second round pick or first round pick, Tyler Mundy, really talented player back to high school, played on the varsity team, but seems to be hanging his hat a little bit more on the defensive side recently. I was curious if you could speak a little bit to what you see as that transformation in his game, but also whether you think he can return to the heights as a ball handler and playmaker that we all know he can.
Yeah, he is one of the best defenders in this Classic for sure. His point of attack defense is rivaled only by really Kieran Swenson, yourself, in my opinion. So that's going to be great. And winning in the Classic often comes from your defense, I feel like. In the past, historically, the best defensive teams have done the winning. And so that's why I picked him for his defense. Offensively, we're going to be putting the ball in his hands a lot. I think he's he's probably the best ball handler out here. He's got great passing chops, and he's a willing passer. So I think he'll be great on that side of the ball for us.
Fantastic. I'm excited to see it. One more question I want to return to Will Wyman before we move on to Bridger. Just standing up here with the microphone in my hand, it does make me think about another classic great that we are losing, Kyle Cordana. We know we love him to have him behind the microphone as well as on the court. And you guys have obviously had some storied and heated rivalries in the past. What does it mean to you not have him around anymore? Are you sad to see him go?
Yeah, I mean, it's terrible to lose a player like that. I always enjoyed our battles. Going head to head with him was one of my favorite matchups. You know, it was always a lot of fun. I think it brought the best out in both of us. It certainly brought the best out in him. And it was just great to see that fire light in his eyes. Brought me back to the days playing. I would see that switch flip, and the eyes would turn red, and good things would happen after that. You know, he's an aggressive ball player. And he really goes after it. And, you know, I hate not seeing him out here. Hopefully we'll get him out here for some quarter on the court interviews. But if he's not able to make it, then his run in the Classic, both on and off the court, has been a storied one and one that we've loved to see.
And one that won't be forgotten.
Yes.
One that won't be forgotten, said Bridger Costello, and I certainly agree. With that, we'll move right over to Bridger, 4th pick in the draft for the foul. Yeah. Feel free to come over here. First question I want to ask you is, you know, you've really brought home pretty much everything. Okay. Pretty much every award that the Classic has to offer, especially on the offensive side of the ball. You brought home MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, been first team All-Classic many times. What do you think it'll take to translate that individual success into some team dominance and maybe bring home a championship?
That's a really great question, Kieran. Yeah, I really, obviously I'm happy with the accolades and things that have come throughout the Classic. Always have a great time doing this and obviously want to play my best. But the thing I'm really seeking definitely here is a championship. I feel like that's the last thing I really have to check off the list to kind of solidify my place in the Hall of Fame of the Backyard Classic. And I think this team this year really has, we really have the pieces this year to make a good run. I really love the hustle that all 3 guys on my team bring. Sean Finnerty, Ian Smith, Liam Swenson. Fantastic athletes, really good background in sports, including basketball. I really like the defense that these guys bring on the defensive side of the ball. Definitely an area where I really lack a lot of times in the Classic. Something I definitely need to improve on. It's something I'm working on for sure. But I think these guys on my team are definitely going to help me pick me up with that. And I think we have a really good chance of making a run. Because of that, I think we complement each other well. I think we'll be able to move the ball well. That's definitely another thing that I need to emphasize, kind of getting my teammates a little bit more involved, like you said. And I think those are the couple of things that it's really going to take to establish ourselves as a solid team and start playing together. But I really think we can do it this year.
Yeah. Amazing. I hope it comes together well. Touching upon one of the things you said there, obviously Sean Finnerty, your new first-round pick, checking in for Gabe Murray, who couldn't attend due to personal reasons. How does that change your team dynamic? How do you see that changing the game plan, or does it at all change the game plan?
I would say it definitely changes the game plan. You know, new personnel. Of course, Gabe Murray is an absolute offensive weapon. He really can shoot the lights out. He can really heat up out of nowhere, and he's really good at finishing, despite some would say his smaller size compared to other people in the Classic. I think it was a big loss, but I really like what we have with the sub-in with Sean. That was really clutch, and thanks to him for being able to sub in. I think we add a little bit of height. We add a little bit of more power on the defensive end, which is, again, something that I think our team really needs to emphasize this year, something that foul teams maybe have struggled with in the past. I've played with Sean for many years, honestly. Same with Gabe, but me and Sean have good chemistry. We've played together for a long time. I know how he plays, and I have a lot of confidence in him to be a really big impact player this year. Like what I saw from him last year, and I'm really excited. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Thank you, Bridger. Thank you. With that, let's move on to our next captain, Ryan Tilmatine. Come over and join you here. Come over and join me in the light.
Okay. Do that. I'll sit down here.
Oh, I guess that doesn't matter because the camera's not on.
Alright, you can take a seat. I'll just take a seat.
All right. I've just been standing over. All right. Moving on to Ryan Tilmatine. Whoa.
Sorry about that.
Well, what I wanted to ask you starting off is you're coming off of 2 back-to-back Winter Classic championships.
One. I went to the finals, but
Okay, 1 trip to the final on the Winter Classic and a Winter Classic championship, but have yet to emulate that success in the Summer Classic. How can you translate that success into success in this longer tournament?
yeah, I mean, sorry, I can hold this one. Now I have a teammate of mine that won with me and Giacomo, so that's helpful. Championship DNA. Yeah, I mean, there's some things that we picked up, Giacomo and I, in that tournament that we're going to implement today, or not today, in this tournament. So hopefully those come in handy. Yeah, it's also staying healthy, which is a really big deal. Apparently I'm Kawhi Leonard because I get hurt all the time. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it's luck, a lot of it's skill, a lot of it's health. So hopefully the cards fall, everything falls in my way.
Yeah. Last Classic, there were definitely some issues with team chemistry. Certainly some notable late game meltdown, some would say. How do you aim to fix that as a captain? Of course, a lot of the onus falls on you to make sure that team runs smoothly and the chemistry goes well. How do you hope to fix some of those issues with this new team?
100%. I mean, it all starts with just having trust in your teammates and allowing them to play the game. Also, not having Aidan on your team helps a lot.
Wow. All right.
I love you, Aidan. But I'll see you in a few days. But yeah, it's all about just trusting your teammates, allowing them to play their game, giving them confidence, which comes with experience and learning that as a captain, I'm sure. So every game matters, and every game that you play, you learn something new. So I guess that applies to every other player as well. So it's the same way. Just teach yourself to balance it out amongst your team and be confident amongst everyone else, and the shots will start falling in eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't agree more. Last question. Can you give us a little look-see into your game plan? You mentioned a couple adjustments you and Giacomo were talking about. What does that game plan look like specifically for that first game tomorrow?
Yeah. My shots haven't been falling in the preseason, so I'm just looking to get into the paint more, a little pick and roll action. I got some shooters on my team, I think, in Zabala, and I think Jock can make his shots, and obviously Mundy is a good shooter. So I don't need to shoot that many threes. I mean, we get in the paint, kick out, find some shooters, and defensively, we know we're always going to be there as a Rooks franchise. We're always talented defensively, so that's fine. But offensively is where we struggle occasionally, and I guess finding the balance between the outside and inside shots and some more ball movement could help a lot. That's something what Derek provides a lot more than maybe Tyler did last year. Even though Tyler was fantastic defensively and won us the Winter Classic, there's a little different element to both their games.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Ryan. Best of luck to you this season. All right. Let's bring over the brand new owner of the Sharks franchise. Get on over here, Aiden Doms. Cody's next. Oh, is Aiden the last pick?
Yeah.
All right, we're bringing over Cody. Sorry, Aiden. My fault. That was a mix-up on me. All right. Cody, obviously you're taking over from a truly storied franchise, the Classics, the namesake. Taking over for your older brother. How does it feel to follow in his footsteps? What are you excited about? And what do you think you could bring to the Classic that maybe Kai, improve on Kai's game?
Yeah, thanks for having me, first of all. I think I can improve his game in everywhere. As the Classics, or the commissioner was quoted, he's a shiver giver for the spine. I'm a scoliosis giver. You understand? I'm a new man, a new monster when it comes to the Classics, and the draft we had this year, everything's gone perfectly so far. I don't expect it to deviate at all.
Yeah. Yeah, talk to me a little bit more about that draft. I know you didn't get interviewed on draft night, and you had some things you wanted to say. So talk to me a little bit about those picks.
I just wanted to say that I've been doing mock drafts for a long time. I've been doing a lot of scouting of all the people here, and I left this draft with the two people I really wanted with my first and second pick, and then I was blessed to be given Ivan with my third pick. Who, unlike some of the other captains, I think he can really bring a lot to my team, really add a good depth piece, and we can interchange people with so much ease.
Yeah, absolutely. Cody tends to win our fantasy league every year for the viewers, so he certainly knows a lot about mock drafts. Let's see. Can you give me? You would certainly have a lot of players who can shoot the ball. Also, a lot of players who tend to be pretty ball dominant. Walk me through how you feel about sharing the basketball, getting everybody the looks that they need.
Yeah, no, we can all share the basketball. I'm not the type of captain who needs to do it all myself. I don't think that I'll lead the league in points, and I don't know if I'll lead it in assists. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but I know we will get the win because if my teammates want to get the buckets, I'll let them. Whoever's feeling hot at the time, I'll let them have it. I have no need for stats or for individual awards. I have a need for a backyard classic championship.
Wow. Great answer. Really selfless from the captain. Last question. What was the score of the last 1v1 that you and Kai played?
Last time we played, I don't think we finished because we started arguing. It tended to go like that. I am the superior player.
All right. Thank you very much, Cody. I love the confidence. All right, let's move on to our last drafter, the owner of the Sharks franchise, Aiden Doms. Welcome, Aiden. Welcome, Aiden. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, a lot of expectations. You're coming into the Classic and immediately given the last pick in the draft. How does that, how do you go about navigating that? Is it a weight on your shoulders? Does it bring excitement? How does it feel?
I think giving, what's it called? Getting the last pick in the draft, is an honor from people who decide. I think it was a tough decision between me and Cody. I personally think I should have got the 7th pick, but that's fine. But yeah, no, I wouldn't say it's pressure, but it is a little bit of pressure to win. So yeah.
All right. I've been hearing a lot of stuff. I haven't seen it myself from the runs about clearly you're an explosive athlete, above the rim threat. I know our Classic viewers would love to see some dunks, some above the rim. How many can you promise the Classic viewers a dunk if they tune into the Sharks games?
Yeah, I'll promise at least one, but I'm definitely, the main goal is to not get injured, and I do have ankle problems, so I want to go crazy, but I'll promise at least one, and I'm looking to dunk on Hank Schaff, actually.
Wow. You heard it here first. Aiden Doms, tune in when the Sharks play Schaff's team, absolutely. Tomorrow. Yeah. All right, tune in tomorrow night, folks. Yeah. All right. With that, we'll send it back to the commissioner to sign us off for the night.
Thanks for watching. Tune in tomorrow at 5:30. Light Show Sharks first game.
Let's get it, fellas. Get underway.
Should be great basketball. Thanks for watching to the 4 people that stuck around
Thank you everyone for tuning in.
through this brutal
Sorry for the
live stream.
difficulties, but we'll fix it
We'll do better
tomorrow.
tomorrow.